We can see his house from up here.
I don't think so, but I mean, while we're here, this is a cool spot to teach. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. What a cool spot to do a lesson. This is a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. So, we just went through that whole process of creating your milestones, the peak transformation. So now it's time to break those down into individual lessons so that you can really see how you're going to facilitate the transformation that you're intending for your course. And so what you want to do is you want to go back through and break those down into the individual lessons. And so each milestone might have 3 to 5 steps in it, or less individual lessons to help facilitate the mini transformation for that particular milestone or module, if you will. And so there really aren't any rules. That's just kind of the formula that we were using for this. Depending on what your course is all about, that will help to dictate which sort of formula works best for you, whether it's 3 mini lessons or 5 mini lessons or whatever it is that works for you. The most important thing to understand is that you need to have proper organization and breaking things down so that the sequence makes sense.
Yep. And I think probably the most important thing that we really want to drive home is that the key is to keep it simple, digestible, and potent. Those 3 things: simple, digestible, and potent.
Yeah.
Make it really easy for your students to get it, to grasp the information, and you know, taking big ideas and making it super simple and bite-sized. And also keeping it short. Like we recommend not going more than about, I don't know, 20 minutes
at the most
max.
Yeah.
It's been our goal with this course is to keep it around 5 minutes per lesson. I feel like that's sufficient time to pack in a big idea in a little way.
That's right, because the video isn't going to be the only way to deliver your content. You'll have articles or PDFs that are complementary to your lesson that help them to go through an exercise in their experience to really ingrain what it is that you're teaching. You can also have quizzes and you can have guided audios. There's all sorts of partnering tools that you can create that will support the process.
Yeah. So I think probably one of the most important elements of each lesson is to have a clear call to action. To have a clear action step that allows your students to take what they've learned and put it into action, to integrate it into their life or whatever it is that they're, whatever you're teaching. Because it's action is where we get results. If they say if you want to be something, do. And so we can sit and learn and learn and learn and learn and learn, but the real learning starts when we take what we've learned and put it into action. So make it really easy for your students to do so, just like what we've been doing with this course. Easy short lesson, easy short action. Do that over and over again, and you make it really easy for people to get the change that they're seeking through your course.
Totally. And as you've probably noticed with this, and what you want to consider for your own course is creating rhythms. Rhythms are really important. You want to have consistency and predictability for your students so they know when lessons are going to come and how things are going to unfold. So as you're creating your course structure, just ask yourself what sort of rhythms or how you would like the flow to be delivered. And when we get to Automator River later on, the liver of the river, when we get there, you'll understand how to create the automation sequence. But something to consider as you're creating your lessons, just how you want their process to unfold.
Yep. So action items for this lesson on lessons is to go through all of your milestones and jot down in just point format a phrase or a sentence that helps you know what each lesson is going to be. So jot down 3 to 5 bullet points of this is the 3 to 5 things that need to happen in this specific checkpoint or milestone that's going to allow and facilitate that specific transformation that's being promised through that milestone. And then once you've gone through your whole course, you've identified and listed out what the specific lessons are, go back through and we have a handy lesson template that we've created for you that you're going to want to actually go through and fill out the lesson template for each lesson of each milestone. Essentially what the lesson template is it you write down the lesson purpose, the key points that you want to teach or communicate, the call to action, so what's the to-do item, and supporting documents or media, and then any sort of notes that you want to add in there just to help you make more sense of what's going on.
Totally, and just a couple points to add to that is, number one, if you're introducing something that's really new to people, and you say have 5 mini lessons in your checkpoint, then the first lesson might just be a simple foundation laying piece, like some things that supplies they need to prepare for that particular lesson series, or maybe just talking about the philosophy, kind of how in the first video in this particular series here at Creator Heights, we talked about the philosophy of creating great courses. And so just know that if you're introducing something really new, then you have to expect that you need to warm people up to that idea before taking them into a deep dive. And the other piece that I just want to mention right now is just like, this is just the nuts and bolts. You don't need to be clever or creative with these lesson outlines. That will totally come. And the other piece that I want to talk about that I saw in Andy's notes here is with the supporting documents or media, is that this is where you may be able to resurrect an old article or an old video you created, an old piece of audio that could be a supportive piece to the lessons that you're creating. So this is a great time to just, again, go back through stuff you've already created and see if you can repurpose it.
Yeah, something, and just to add to that, you can actually leverage things that you didn't even create. Maybe there's a blog post or somebody's ebook that is, it's a free resource, or you have permission to use it. You can use that if it actually helps the person, because ultimately your job is to serve your students and getting them to where they want to go. Whether it's something you made or someone else made, it doesn't really matter, as long as you're helping them get there.
Absolutely.
So leverage everything that you've got.
Totally. And so I think that about wraps it up. You've got your call to action, you've got your journal ready for you and waiting, and I just kind of want to chill here and enjoy this epic view.
This is a cool spot.
So you go do that, and we'll do the next lesson once you're done.